how are you doing? It is Becca's Bookoplathon, a 48-hour round, completely live, and it's currently almost 2 p.m. in my time zone, which means we've been going for 13 hours. I was asleep for a lot of that. Basically, recently, my life has changed and I can't stay up late anymore. I'm gonna try today, but not good at it anymore. But it has meant that I'm starting to wake up earlier, which I don't mind. So yeah, I started the readathon sleeping, and then I read my first book. Yay! I literally just finished it. I wanted to focus my morning on just reading and not do anything else, just to make sure I had that first book knocked out of the park. And I did, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute, because the goal for today, for this weekend, is to read a book per wall drop. So I'm gonna try and double up on everything. If I read more, that would be very nice, but I know especially tomorrow it's gonna be a very busy day. I have a lot of school things I gotta do, but I'm gonna still try my best to get a book read for every wall drop and complete all the challenges by doubling up. And yeah, what I also want to accomplish with that is getting through my galleys, because I'm behind on that. I haven't been reading much this month. And then yeah, that's my main goal, to get as many of those done as possible. But I also have a lot of books I bought recently that I'm super excited to read, and I just got back. I went to the library earlier this week and also got some books from there that I'm excited to read. So if I can throw those into the mix, that would be great. But yeah, let's start off with the first book I read, which was for the challenges of to read a fantasy and to read a book with a dark cover. That's the Conductors. I forgot the author's name, I'm so sorry, but the cover is right here, so you can check that out. But this is one of the galleys I got from NetGalley. I was supposed to read this last month, but you know, the slump happened. I didn't get around to it, but I read it now. It's a historical fiction. It also has a fantasy element. It takes place during the time setting of the Underground Railroad, and we follow our main character, who together with her husband is one of the leading conductors, very popular, and they're also kind of detectives in their town. And basically the plot starts off someone they know getting murdered in a very mysterious way, and they have to solve it. And a lot of things unravel. Magic is involved, like I said, and I ended up giving this 2 out of 5 stars. I personally wasn't the biggest fan of it, because I don't know, I didn't really like the mystery element in it. When I went into this book, I was expecting more so to lean into that fantasy element, which it didn't really do that. It very much leaned into the mystery, and I didn't really enjoy how that was done. I don't know, I can explain it, but I just didn't really like how it was done, really. But I did quite like our main character. I did kind of find it hard to distinguish the side characters, and I never was fully pulled into the story. I'll accumulate it to a 3-star, but I would still recommend this book because I do think there was an audience for it. It's not bad. It just wasn't really my thing personally, but it was quite a chunky book. Didn't realize that going in. It was over 400 pages, so I'm glad I was able to knock it out in the morning. So yeah, go me. So now for the second wall drop, we got to prompt to read a contemporary and to read a book with POC rep. And I want to combine those two, and even though I have contemporaries that I have a galley for, none of them feature people of color as main characters, at least as far as I know. So I went into my personal collection and pulled out 3 books. First of all, we got from the library, I got Queenie by Candice Carty Williams. So this is an option. And I also have Super Fake Love Sign by David Yoon, which I bought in December and I've been meaning to read ever since, but I just didn't get around to it. And then we have Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas, which I got last month. I'm also really excited to read. And if I remember correctly, during the last Bookoplathon, I read On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. So it would be full circle to also read Angie Thomas now. I don't really know which one to read. I kind of want to go with the shortest, so if I finish it in time, I could perhaps read another contemporary from my galley stack. But I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea to read the shortest, because none of these are really long, and I just did a quick flick through of Queenie, and this does have text messages in it and stuff, so that might also just be a great read. So I don't really know which one to go for. I'm gonna look at page counts, right? That's the best idea. So this is 396. This is 349. And this is 360. Okay, so if we just look at page count, this is the shortest. Ooh, that should be my pick. But I don't know, the margins on this are pretty large, and like I said, this one has mixed media throughout it as well. I don't really know what is the best option. I really want to read all 3 of these books. Okay, I might put this to the side because this is adult, and adult is more intimidating to me. So then we're left with these. I've read books by both of these authors before, and I flew through these books, both, so I don't know which would be the better option. I really don't. I think I'm gonna go with this one, not only because it's the shortest, but also because I feel like the story is gonna be a little bit more lighthearted than this one. I desperately want to read both, but this is a romance story, while this seems to be a little bit more hard-hitting, so I want to keep things light a little bit, you know? Oh, yes, I'm gonna go with Super Fake Love Song by David Yoon, and I'll talk to you about it more once I've read something that's an ID. Hi, it is 4:20. I'm halfway through the book. Yes, I'm having it on my head in case you don't remember. This is the book I'm reading. Have I ever used my head as a bookmark before? Yes. And I'll do it again. But I'm exactly halfway through the book, as you can see. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad I picked it because it's going by fairly quickly. It's also pretty lighthearted, so I enjoy that. There are some like themes around like identity and stuff that you might get into, and it gets a bit more deeper, but it's very lighthearted, romancy goodness, coming of age goodness as well. But I'll tell you the plot of the book. Basically, this book follows a guy named Sunny who is a total nerd and gets bullied and everything. One day, like, his parents, like old friends from the parents, move in next door, I guess. I'm not sure, but in the neighborhood. And their daughter is the same age as our main character. And he sees her and immediately is like, oh shit. And then, as a way to impress her, he pretends to be in a band, which he's definitely not. He also pretends to be like cooler than he is and stuff like that. And he gets himself into a mess, as you can predict. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I don't have much more to say about it. I feel like how this book is gonna go, I'm either gonna like absolutely love it, or I'm just gonna feel okay about it. I don't think this could get to a point where I would dislike it. I don't know. It might do something very bad. I can never know. But yeah, I'm hoping to like really love this one. Yay. Hi. It is the next day. I haven't gotten ready for the day yet. I'm sorry I look like a mess. I think we just reached 10 a.m. I'm not sure. I should look at the time, but I'm not. Sorry for ghosting you yesterday, but I ended up finishing Super Fake Love Song by David Yoon around like 7 p.m. So that was actually pretty decent. I didn't start anything after that, just because, in case you don't know, I've been in a slump since February? No, since the last week of January. I've been in a reading slump, very terrible, and I'm still making my way out of that, and I want to be able to like continue reading after this weekend, so I don't want to burn myself out. So I decided that I would just take the evening to relax and do whatever. And then a great evening. But I did finish this book, so let's talk about it. I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I just think the ending was wrapped up a little bit too nicely for my taste. I would have liked if just one thing went a little bit differently than it did. I was so hoping it would have, but it didn't. I also just feel like, and this was only when the main character was with a love interest, like for the rest it like wasn't really a problem, but I just feel like at times the main character was like so pretentious and judgmental, and like I said, this was only around the love interest, so I don't know if he did it to like make an impression on her, or if that's just part of his character that never came out around his friends. I don't know, but it rubbed me the wrong way at times. But I thought this was a really fun story, and the acknowledgements at the end, David June mentions that that this story was just something to like have fun with, especially during the last year. What that was. Wait, let me say. David June says in the acknowledgements, "For this is my fun book, my happy goof of silly story for a very intentionally designed to bring desperately needed joy and light to what was a very difficult and mind-bending year." It's early in the morning. I'm sorry, I can't read. But this book definitely felt like that, like just like a very fun story that also is very, very nerdy. Like, it's so, even though like the story is about a main character like pretending to be cool to not be seen as a nerd, this book is still so celebrates nerd culture, and I really had a fun time with that, even if it was like a separate piece of nerd culture that I've never interacted with. I still had so much fun just like reading about it and seeing these characters just living their best lives. But yeah, even though this is more marketed as like a romance story, I feel like this is more a coming of age story about a main character finding himself, and I had such a great time on that journey. That was my review of that book. And then this morning I started Kisses and Croissants, which is a galley guide from NetGalley. I did like a random, I did it for the chance card because I didn't have a galley that's first in the series, and I really want to try and read most of those, so I decided to just go with one prompt, I guess, for this time around. It doesn't really matter, but I just have 4 galleys I still need to read this month, and I used a random number generator, and then I came out on this one. And I'm halfway through, so that's why I'm updating you, and I'm not liking it. This book follows a girl whose dream is to be a ballerina, and she gets accepted into like a summer program in Paris, and it's basically Anna and the French Kiss with ballet, and no cheating, surprisingly. I'm not liking it. Our main character just, I can't stand her. I'm not liking how the romance is written. I'm not liking how this book is written. Like, it's very over-explainy, which I'm not enjoying. Like, the side characters are barely given any attention. So yeah, I'm only at the halfway mark, but I'm not enjoying my time. I will finish it and give you my full thoughts, but right now I'm telling you I'm not liking it. But yeah, I'm gonna put on the reading sprints, which I haven't been doing yet this morning because I was a little bit too tired, but I'm gonna put them on and then read along because I did that yesterday and I had a great time reading that way. So yeah, I'm doing the same today. I'll meet you later. Bye. Hi, we're 5 minutes away from the last roll drop, but I thought I'd pop in to say that I finished my book. Like I predicted, I didn't like it. I reviewed it to the 5 stars. It didn't get any better as I continued reading. The main character was so annoying. The writing was just too over-explaining. Like, everything got explained like very in-depth. It's like, I didn't need to know that. I also just felt like the portrayal of Paris was a little bit idealistic as someone who's been there once. It's like that. This seems a little bit like too idealistic of representation, which is weird because the author actually lived in Paris for a while, so you think she'd known. But oh well. I didn't like the romance at all. It was terrible. The conflict in this book were just not that great. It was unnecessary drama. So yeah, wasn't a fan. I apologize. But now I'm dedicating my day to other things than reading. I just edited my video that is going up today, so I'm about to upload that. Then I have to do some schoolwork, and after that I'll be able to finally read. But as soon as the walls drop, I will probably tell you what I plan on reading next, rather than waiting till in the evening. So yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay, hi, same position, but Lou talks. Okay, so I finished the majority of the schoolwork I need to do way earlier than I was expecting. So yay me! So I'll have enough time to read. The only thing is that I'm working on like 2 giant group projects right now, so I'm gonna be like mailing people and like texting the people I'm working with constantly throughout the rest of the day. So I'm hoping I'll be able to like keep my attention to a book for a little bit, but we're still doing it. 2 new prompts are to read a book set in the present and other, so that means a book from a genre you haven't read yet. So no contemporary or fantasy, which were the 2 previous prompts. So I decided to read Hello Cool Heart, which is another Gaga from Nagel. It is a companion book to the new Cruella movie, and I'm quite excited to read this. So that means I'm gonna have to do like some mix and matching for the prompts. Hello Cool Heart is the only book that will count for 1 prompt, but I can fit it in anywhere else because it's an historical fiction. With this other, it's a different genre. It's not a fantasy or contemporary, but it doesn't have a dark cover. It is the first book in the series. I doubt it has POC web because Cruella is white. And yeah, it isn't a fantasy, it isn't a contemporary, you said that already. So I only have it viewable for the other prompt, but they will still have me at 4 books for the weekend, which is phenomenal, as I only read 4 books in February, I believe. So yes, so that would be fantastic if I could get that done. So that's the plan. Okay, so I've reached the halfway point of Hello Cool Heart. It is just a little bit past 4 p.m, which means I've only been reading for an hour. I'm already halfway through. Okay, just thought about that. So this book is flying by. Going by so quick. Like the margin's also huge. There's not a lot of text on the page. But it's also so easy to read and I'm flying through it. But I don't know, I'm not really connecting with it. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be like a 3-star, just like average, middle of the road. There was a little hint of like a romance coming, which I'm not liking the idea of. But I see it coming and I don't want it. For the rest, I feel like the characters are pretty like one-dimensional and the plot is like very simple, so that's why it's like middle of the road, 3 stars. It's nothing bad about it, it's entertaining, it's quick. But yeah, synopsis for this book as well. I just told you it's inspired by the new Cruella movie coming out, but in this, Cruella is a teenager and she's named Estella, which I think is a movie thing, like for the new movie, but oh well. And like she lives on the streets with like these 2 guys and they do like these petty crimes together. She's mainly doing it to like be able to fund her like future career as a designer, but she isn't able to do much more except making like disguises for them. And then one day she like stumbles onto like 2 rich people who recognize her talent and are like, oh my god, you're a prodigy now. And they basically throw her into the world of the rich and famous. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so it's just past 5 p.m. and I finished the book. Hey, yeah, my thoughts that I just gave at the help me walk are still the same. Still a 2 out of 5 stars. I thought the characters were very one-dimensional. I thought the romance was very unnecessary, and I don't know, everything just felt very average. It was a quick read. I flew through it, as evidenced by this vlog, and it was quite fun, but like there was no real attachment to anything. So yeah, 3 stars, middle of the road, average, definition of a 3-star. Don't have much more to say about it. We have 8 hours left of this readathon, and I'm not gonna sit here doing nothing, so I'll be continuing into this book. Definitely not planning on finishing this because I'm only 100 pages in, but I'm gonna wake up my page count for today with this. I was planning on reading like 100 pages of A Court of Silver Flames, in case you don't recognize it. Court of Silver Flames by Sabrina Carpenter. So it is the 5th book in the A Court of Silver Roses series. No, 4th book in the A Court of Silver Roses series. I don't know why I said 5th, but my goal for this month was to read 100 pages for every galley I finished. And because of this readathon, I'm behind on that. So I'm gonna do some reading in this book, and I'll update you tomorrow morning on how this went. Hi, it is Tuesday. I was meant to update you yesterday, but yesterday kind of got away from me. So, hi. This is the end of the vlog. How are you doing? Yes, I'm wearing a sweater with my name on it. No, I'm not gonna explain it. Let's wrap this shit up. I didn't end up reading anymore Sunday because, like I mentioned in the vlog, the rest of my Sunday was spent with all of like emailing and texting for like school assignments, and things ended up getting very, very stressful. So I didn't really leave. Not really time to read, because I did definitely have time to read, but I was like, let's do things that are very relaxing, like watching TV or watching YouTube videos, things that are easy, not taxing on the brain. So that's what I did. And you can't blame me for it. So yeah, I didn't really push up my page count like I said I would, but I'm still really proud of how much I managed to read. Let's look at the stats, shall we? So in total, I read 1,428 pages in 2 days. Incredible. I read 4 books, which also is incredible. And I managed to complete all the challenges, and it was a lot of puzzling, but I did it. And I'll go over all the books that I read in a minute and what challenges they fit for. But also, most importantly, I want to focus on reading galleys, and just I wanted to just finish because I was very behind on my Goodreads goal because I haven't been reading much this year. So let's give you those stats as well. So I'm now, for my Goodreads reading challenge, I'm on 18 books out of 100 because I wasn't expecting the slump. So I thought 100, yeah, doable. Doubtful now. And it puts me 4 books behind schedule still, but that's a huge improvement from what it used to be. And also on NetGalley, my feedback ratio is 75%, which that's high. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but the recommended feedback ratio is 80%. I'm at 75%. That's the closest I've ever been, I think. So that's great. I just added in on my reviews. So yeah, I'm happy with that. And yeah, I'm also back in a reading mood, which, thank God. I hate being in a reading slump so much because reading is something I have always loved since I was a child, since I could read. Even before that, I loved when there was like people read to me. So, you know, I don't like not wanting to read, you know? So I'm happy now. I'm very happy now because I was getting very stressed with everything that I needed to read. So now actually like being able to read will do me good. Got me out of the slump, which is great. After I finish filming this, I have to do a small school assignment, and then after that I'll have all the time of the day to read, and I'm so excited for it. So yeah, but let's also just wrap up everything I did read in this weekend. So the first book I read is The Conductors by Nicole. I'm gonna give you this 2 out of 5 stars. This fit for the challenges to read a dark cover, to read a fantasy, and to read the first book in a series. I won't be continuing on with the series, but it is a series, so thought I'd explain it. And it's more historical, so if you go into my wrap up at the end of the month, this will go on like the historical fiction, while like going into my stats, but it's historical fantasy, so it fits for the fantasy challenge. Then I also read 1 physical book, which I'm also happy with, that I got a book out of my physical TBR, even if my goal was to read mostly galleys. But I read Super Fake Love Sign by David Hume, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars, with my favorite book of the weekend. And this fit for the book with the POC rep and a contemporary book, because the main character in this book is Korean American. Love interest is also Asian American, I think Korean as well. And then there's also some side characters that are people of color. So it has the rep. David June is also Korean American, I believe. So, you know, the rep is very much present. Then next up, I read Kisses and Croissants by Anne-Sophie Johano. I definitely mispronounced that, but this fit for, I give this 2 out of 5 stars. It's my least favorite of the weekend, and this fit for the chance card and to read a book set in the present. And then last but not least, I read Hello Cool Heart by Maureen Johnson, which I gave 2 out of 5 stars, and fit for the prompt other, because it isn't a fantasy or contemporary, it's historical fiction. So yeah, that was my wrap up of the weekend. I had a great time. I didn't end up watching as many like live reading sprints as I wanted to, but I did watch a couple and had a great time doing so. So I want to thank Becca for hosting the readathon, because this I can't even imagine the stress like organizing this was, but it was a lot of fun to participate in, and also all the other hosts that are reading sprints and stuff. It was a fun time, and I definitely want to do it again. So yeah, that's it for this reading vlog. Let me know in the comments below if you participated in Becca's Bookoplathon. How did you do? As well as the thoughts on the books I've read, if you've read them. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Here I am again, the same old situation. Why does the God thing have to be so complicated? I should have played it cool instead of